Brianna. Thank you so much for coming on with me today.
Hi, you're welcome. I'm happy to be here.
Why don't we start by sharing your name, your role, and how you came to learn about Key?
Sure. So my name's Brianna Taylor. I am a school counselor at the Cooperative Middle School in Stratham, New Hampshire. I believe I originally heard about the Key Collective from Kristen LaFleur. I benefited from knowing her family, as one of her sons happened to be a student of mine. And then, Key Collective was reintroduced or emphasized through Jamie Soller, who was our director of school counseling here at the middle school for a while.
Awesome. He's our fantastic board member.
He's top notch.
Yes. So, can you share any stories or experiences from your students that have benefited from Key Collective programs?
Absolutely. So actually, really recently, within the last year, I had a student who, through most of his schooling, would have been described as tired, sad, withdrawn, depressed. And even, his family had said kind of all along, like, oh, that's how we're used to hearing him described all through his schooling. And this is a, single mom with more than one student kind of doubled up in a trailer with other family members. So we're talking a lot of people in a small living space. And I know that this student is really into basketball. And so we talked a lot about that when we would meet. We talk about the Celtics. We talk about, is he going to try out for the school team? And he at one point said his friend invited him to the YMCA. And so I asked if he ever would be interested in having a membership to the Y. And he lit up. It, I think, was one of the first few times I actually saw him like smile and say out loud, like, tell me more. So, I reached out to his mom and asked if it would be okay if I did a validator form for him. She was totally on board. And so we were able, through the RUN program, to get him that discounted YMCA membership. And I believe he goes at least 3 to 5 times a week. He's going to try out for the school basketball team. And that's just, that's one story from the past year, but we have so many other students who have benefited either through theater and arts programs or their youth rec programs. But he's just one that came to mind because his teachers have even started saying he's participating more in classes and he's doing more in group work and not just kind of having that withdrawn, isolated look to him.
Oh, that's a fantastic story. It warms my heart to hear that that is the impact because
It's
it stretches way beyond just going to the Y. It's building confidence, it's helping in school. So that's exactly what we want to hear. So you mentioned there's a lot of kids in your school who have benefited from the RUN card. What do you see as an overarching benefit of the Key Collective and its programs for your school community?
I think the first thing that comes to mind is that it's just such an unbiased universal access point for students that it really takes away that social stigma of needing support for students and families. I think it's worth mentioning that unlike other programs, the Key Collective and RUN has so many different routes for families or students to become eligible, that really like that access piece is imperative, that like I could be a validator as a school counselor, but also, a family could just snap a picture of their free and reduced lunch letter or send a picture of their health insurance card. But I think the biggest positive is really that it helps eliminate the social stigma for a lot of kids and families.
I think you're spot on with that. Having that kid be able to go to the Y along with every other kid in school, no difference.
I think it just like helps our population like continue to pursue interests. It helps keep them busy and connected to their school community rather than, having parents or guardians have to decide between, what can we financially afford or not afford, and, having kids stay home or be on screens. It really allows them to remain embedded in their school community, but also their community at large.
Yeah, that's a fantastic way of putting it. So finally, what would you say to someone who is considering making a donation to the Key Collective?
This is another, I think, kind of another access point that's amazing about Key Collective is that there's so many ways that people can impact a young person's life through Key Collective. And that if, someone can just donate money, then that's amazing, right? That money could go to a tangible opportunity for one of our students or the youth in the community. Conversely, like if a person or an organization could give a gift of access through experiences or opportunities, then the Key Collective is kind of in that unique position to connect those concrete resources with the kids who need them the most. Does that make sense?
Yes, that's fantastic.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
We really appreciate your partnership and your time today. So thank you very much.
I can't say enough great things about the Key Collective, and our school finds the program such an invaluable asset. I mean, our kids benefit, our community benefits. It's amazing.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you got it. Thank you.